Star Trek's TNG-era villains, the Maquis, explain. In the expansive universe of Star Trek, villains often reflect the moral ambiguities and political tensions of the galaxy. Among them, the Maquis stand out, not because they were evil, but because they were deeply human. Introduced during Star Trek, The Next Generation, and later explored more thoroughly in Deep Space Nine and Voyager, the Maquis weren't traditional villains. Instead, they were rogue Federation citizens pushed to rebellion by circumstance, political betrayal, and desperation. Their emergence challenged the utopian ideals of the Federation, revealing the cracks beneath the surface of Starfleet's pristine image. The Maquis origin story. A treaty with a price. The Maquis were born out of the fragile peace between the United Federation of Planets and the Cardassian Union. After years of violent conflict with the militaristic Cardassians, a peace treaty was signed that redrew borders and created a demilitarized zone DMZ. In doing so, several Federation colonies were handed over to Cardassian control. The colonists living in these territories were given a choice: relocate to another planet within Federation borders, or stay and live under Cardassian rule. Many chose to remain. These were their homes, built with their own hands, and they weren't about to abandon them to political expediency. But the Cardassians were not benevolent overlords. Harassment, sabotage, and attacks became the norm for the colonists, and the Federation's hands were tied by the treaty. That abandonment lit the fuse for rebellion. Those colonists became the Maquis, named after the French resistance fighters of World War II, and began fighting back, using guerrilla tactics, stolen starships, and sabotage to defend themselves. Not quite heroes, not quite villains. What made the Maquis so fascinating was their moral complexity. From the Federation's point of view, they were dangerous insurgents. They stole weapons, sabotaged ships, and even killed in the name of their cause. But from the Maquis perspective, they were patriots and survivors, defending themselves against a government that had forsaken them. This complexity is embodied in characters like Commander Calvin Hudson, a former Starfleet officer and friend of Captain Sisko, who turned Maquis after witnessing firsthand the suffering in the DMZ. Hudson's betrayal in DS9's The Maquis two-parter is gut-wrenching because it's not motivated by greed or power, but by heartbreak and a sense of duty to protect innocent lives. The TNG connection. Seeds of the Maquis. Though the Maquis storyline came to full fruition in DS9, its seeds were planted in The Next Generation. In the episode Journey's End, Wesley Crusher visits a Native American colony about to be turned over to the Cardassians. The colonists refuse to leave. Here, we see the Federation's diplomacy clash with cultural heritage and personal autonomy, foreshadowing the tensions that would fuel the Maquis rise. TNG also featured Rolaren, a Byron Starfleet officer whose troubled past and defiance made her the perfect Maquis recruit. In the TNG episode Preemptive Strike, Captain Picard sends Ro undercover to infiltrate the Maquis, only for her to switch sides, feeling betrayed by the hypocrisy of the Federation she once believed in. Her defection is one of the most poignant moments in the series, underlining how loyalty is tested when ideals fail to match reality. The Maquis in Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine took the Maquis narrative to new heights. It was here that the group evolved from disgruntled colonists into a full-blown paramilitary resistance. They became a persistent thorn in the side of both the Federation and the Cardassians. Captain Sisko, torn between duty and sympathy for their cause, often found himself in impossible situations. The conflict culminated in several intense episodes, particularly when it was revealed that DS9's own security chief, Michael Eddington, had defected to the Maquis. Eddington viewed the Federation as an oppressive force masquerading as a utopia, delivering one of the series' most memorable monologues comparing Starfleet to the Borg. They assimilate people and cultures, and we call it peace. Sisko's pursuit of Eddington for the uniform crossed ethical lines, including poisoning a planet's atmosphere to force a Maquis surrender, a moment that starkly blurred the line between hero and villain. It was a grim reminder that even Starfleet could bend its morality when pushed far enough. The Maquis and Voyager, a forced alliance. When Star Trek Voyager premiered, the Maquis took on a new narrative role. In the pilot episode Caretaker, a group of Maquis and a Federation crew are stranded in the Delta Quadrant, 70,000 light-years from home. Captain Janeway destroys the only way back in order to protect an innocent species, forcing the